Hey everyone, it is Friday at 3:30 and another week has passed by and you know, I oh sorry, Patrina.
I'm just chuckling because it's been that kind of Friday.
I know. It's been that type of week. I know this week I actually went to get a crown on my tooth. Not that everyone needs to know that, but it was like halfway through the week, it was like, oh my gosh, where are the rest of the days going? It's been an exciting week for Blockchain Legal Institute. I know it's been exciting for the business of charity too. A lot of updates. Always things are going on in the news. We'll get to that in a sec. If you have not visited www.bli.tools, you really need to, because I've been working and the team's been working really hard on a facelift. And it is really exciting to me because the Academy or the Innovation Center, whatever we decide that we're going to be calling it, because the name keeps evolving.
Right.
We are definitely offering continuing legal education classes. We're offering continuing education classes. We now have live, and that's why I put the link in below, the ability for you to book on a cruise, which is now our Cruise Academy. And you can earn continuing education credits and 27 panels, 30 hours of content. I'm really excited about this because you can island hop as well as learn and earn a certificate. I won't say earn, crypto, because that's not what we're going to be doing. It's all about education, but definitely on the cruise. And if you want to, for those that travel on cruises, you know that if you book your reservation early, you get certain benefits in terms of room rates. And so we have our block of rooms already reserved. And then the next price kind of goes up in March 1st. And just because we have to then rebook the blocks, and for those that don't know, but I'm really excited about this. There's some really great, we're going to be giving out awards. We are nominating various, we have 15 different awards, recognition awards for really inspirational stories, people who have done, or companies that are really making a difference in our community and the world. And one of our teammates is actually creating the nomination page, so you can nominate and be considered for the award. And we're also looking at we're getting sponsors, so I can't say that there will be prizes attached to the awards yet because we're still getting sponsors. But this is the flagship, no pun intended, the initial the initial award. Right? And so we're really excited about kicking this off because it will hopefully bring meaning to people's lives. The other thing that we're doing, which about, Patrina, because you've always been involved with this, we have our major global summit event on March 21st. It is free. So there's really no reason for anyone who's listening to this to not register. The keynote, still, we can't announce that yet, but we have some very prestigious individuals who are responding back, and we're kind of talking to them about what will be working for them. And again, we have 3 panels, one dealing, which we're going to talk about today, real world assets, the other dealing with laws around the globe. And then the third area is dealing with finances and how blockchain is, in a creative and important way, impacting traditional business. And the other thing that people, individuals who are on my LinkedIn and other places might have seen, we're starting to translate some of our posts into Spanish. And so we have a number of individuals who are within our community who are based in Mexico and South America and Spain and other locations, and they're assisting us in this. So they're posting it on a lot of different feeds. And so we're really excited. And I want to remind everyone, if you scroll down to the bottom, even though I've asked our team to move it up closer to the top, if you scroll down to the bottom, there's a little button there. And you can translate our website into like over 40 different languages. So, that's really important if you're not familiar with how to do that. If you're, and if you are bilingual and want to read it in a different language. But I'm going to stop talking for a sec. Patrina, how are you doing?
like you said, it's been just a really busy week. I'm trying to get just, many things done. There's some grants out there that I'm working on that are closing next week. So we're in the kind of home stretch of getting that done. But I thought it was interesting. I was paying for one of my services. Matter of fact, it is my file manager. And when I went to pay for it, it gave me the option to pay in crypto. And I was thoroughly impressed. I was like, so next month I can come in here and link this to my crypto wallet and pay it in crypto instead of having to pay cash if that's something that, is necessary needed. So it's good to see that we are seeing this expand into our day-to-day lives, really expand. I know PayPal did this last year. A couple other, I think, not Stripe, somebody else did it, I think, PayPal, Venmo, their parent company, so it makes sense. But yeah, giving you those different options. So it's interesting to see where we're going with this. And I say jump in now instead of waiting till later and trying to figure this all out
So
because I think we're going to be in trouble.
I do have a favor to ask you for next Friday.
Mhm.
I want you to kind of look back at that file manager platform. Try to find out who the host is
Okay.
that they are using,
Okay.
because we're all about research and investigation with BLI,
Absolutely.
and also providing the resources to everyone who's listening. So that way, if you would like to then maybe use that behind the scenes platform for your point of sale operation, then we'll be able to let you know that it's a resource. You know,
Yep.
I know that we've done that, and on the nonprofit side, because of doing fundraising for
Mhm.
nonprofits, we have found a number of platforms where the nonprofit does not have to hold the crypto; that it will automatically be converted into the fiat, or the nonprofit could decide that they do want to hold it.
Mhm.
Again, it depends upon your accounting. You wanted to talk more about fundraising with nonprofits. Do you want to take
Yes.
a moment and chat about that for a sec?
Yeah. So I was doing some additional research and I came across this platform. I think it's based out of the UK, but what I found interesting about it, and I won't give them a plug, but what I found interesting about it was that they did some data research about the difference between using AI tools in fundraising versus not using it. And what I found interesting was, and they actually had a chart on their site that said, if you did not use AI tools, this is generally what it would look like for your existing donors. If you used AI tools to help determine who would be a good candidate for giving you recurring donations, they had another line for what that would look like. And then they also had a third objective or qualifier in there that said these were also the candidates that the AI did not identify as good candidates for recurring donations, but they were contacted anyway. And so, what was interesting is that even though there were some donors that AI missed as part of that, the where it really shined was where it identified potential donors who would be recurring givers and how much that went up proportionally in relation to the other two groups. And so clearly there is some indication there that while it's not perfect what technology is, obviously it can be a driving force for you as a tool to raise money for your nonprofit. And what nonprofit doesn't need money? I don't know any. If they don't need it, that means they're not in existence. So if you are not fundraising with using these tools, and there are some platforms out there that are really reasonable for you to use and to be able, because I work with startups and I work with adolescent organizations, and they're like, well, I'm paying for this out of pocket, or, we're still talking to our donors about giving monthly donations. These tools are now price friendly for those organizations who can jump in and take advantage of it. So you should be doing that because there's some really expensive platforms out there. Those are not for you. Let's look at some of the other newer platforms that are giving you good information, good data, and a return on your investment.
No, I agree with that. And again, just a plug. If you are a nonprofit and you are looking for information about the how to use AI in fundraising, definitely, Patrina and I wrote a book that's on Amazon. digital here. Let me go grab it. The digital assets, how to use digital assets to fundraise for your nonprofit. But more important than the book, even though the book is a step-to-step guide on how to do that, reach out to Patrina, because again, we all need mentors and experts in the field. And it makes it easier when as a teacher, at least currently I'm a teacher until I retire, I still need mentors and people to show me, because I know my style of learning. Yes, I can struggle through, and that will help me to learn, but it's a lot faster if I'm visually shown it and someone says, do this, do that. And then I remember it, and then I can do it. And then I can take my time to do something creative. So definitely use experts like Patrina. So she can guide you through it. Every sports who has, every professional sports person, you have a mentor, you have a coach.
Absolutely.
And in business, it's no different.
That's what I'm saying. As a business owner, I have mentors and coaches.
Yeah. So, and again, from the business perspective, not just the nonprofit side, if you need consulting, Blockchain Legal Institute has a variety of members who are experts in their field, and they can consult with anyone who's listening. And we've done a lot of internal referrals. So actually, we're going to get to the content in a quick second, even though I know we're running short on time. One of the things I wanted to mention is that as new members, if you are a new member of Blockchain Legal Institute or thinking about joining, you're going to get a lot of freebies. So one of the freebies that we're going to be sharing with you is a 2024 planner, and it's called How to Get Paid in Happiness. So it's a journal of joy planner. But again, I think everyone likes to have planners, and everyone needs it at the beginning of the year. And especially when you're projecting out your future, you need to stay in that mindset for happiness and funds, because it's all about prosperity and what are you bringing forward. There's enough little hurdles and mountains that, businesses have to go through, but you really have to have a positive mindset as you do this. So talking about positive mindsets and talking about kind of building, one of the topics that we're going to be talking about in depth at the March 21st event, the Global Summit, is what is called real world assets, RWA. And so I saw an article about real world assets, and where did it go?
It always runs away when you're looking for it.
I had so many things open, and
I was like,
thinking, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this. And now I can't find the real world asset one, but they were giving, oh my gosh, this is so funny. This is like, we do this all the time.
We do this every Friday, so we're good.
Where did the article go?
No sound glitches on my side today.
I know. Well, I might have to, let's see, where is this person that I was going to be borrowing from, wow. Yeah, it's not even in the feed anymore. Oh, here it is. Why real world assets tokenization is taking off. Now, that's really interesting. For those that don't know about tokenization or tokens, that's a whole nother vocabulary that we're going to be talking about. But basically, digital assets are being used in a variety of ways. And tokenizing them in the simplest way means having them on chain, which means on a blockchain, and that they can be traced. So the ownership can be traced and traded, and it could be fractional ownership. So that is very interesting from that perspective. Because also when you start dealing with fractions, the question that I have is, are you dealing with the securities? But again, there's a lot of real world asset. They have the abbreviation RWA, which makes it a lot easier to say. And they talk about how this technology and the financial standpoint is impacting both art to real estate, other products. And we're going to be looking at that actually in March from a global perspective. and many companies are using tokenized assets because they want to be able to give away fractions of different
Mm-hmm.
products. So, thinking about real estate, is
Yeah.
that different than, a co-op or, timeshare,
Mhm.
but how is it treated? How is it taxed?
And that will be the real question right there. So I'm looking forward to learning more about that.
Yeah. So, these all these guidelines and things that are coming out, I'm scanning the
Mhm.
article, but they talk about smart contracts.
Mm.
They talk about decentralization, DeFi, and how, again, these areas are going to be impacted, and
Mhm.
not impacted in a bad way, but it's, when you put things on chain, blockchain, it means you can also move things fast, information
Right.
fast, and how we're going to use it as a tool. And
Mhm.
so, again, um, in our little 15-minute bite size, conversation, it's hard to get into the deep dive of this. But I do want to kind of navigate over for a quick second over to the classes, the workshops that Blockchain Legal Institute is about to host. These 1 hour workshops are definitely going to be continuing legal education or continuing education credit worthy. We are going to be approaching state by state, getting
Mhm.
certified. And so they're going to be deep dive content. And so for those that are not always familiar with the vocabulary on how to build a legal practice with this, you'll be able to learn how to create new niches in your legal practice, and also where to go for resources. Even if you don't want to build it as a niche, if a client comes to you and then they
Mhm.
have a question, you still have to know where to go. And so that's the purpose of these classes, is to give you the basic vocabulary so
Mhm.
you'll understand when someone comes in your office and sits down in a chair and says, well, this is what I want to do. How can you help me? So that way they don't go out the door when you say, well,
Right.
I really don't understand this. And they think, okay, I need to find another team member to help me. So
Mhm.
it's really important that as professionals that we continue our education. We might not know everything, but we need to know where to go for those resources. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Any last minute thoughts? Because we've reached more than our 15-minute
Oh,
mark.
we're over again. Imagine that. So, have an amazing weekend, everyone. And if you have not thought about how you can really fundraise, it's still early in the year. Let's, schedule some time. Let's talk about that so we can help you begin to fundraise using cryptocurrency and other AI tools.
And on the flip side of that, if you are someone that likes to give to charities, this is also a great time to think about what are your assets, digital assets or otherwise,
Yes.
and how can you support the community with what you have to give. So it's always better to pre-plan than to wait till December and then think, oh no.
Now I've got to figure out who I'm giving and where I'm giving my money to. So,
Yeah.
yes.
Anyway, have a great week, guys. We will be talking next week about a variety of topics. And as always, remember, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. We're also interconnected. We're part of one world, and there's a lot of fun out there. So just enjoy the moments. Talk to you guys. Bye.
Absolutely. Bye.